Awareness strategies. Growing small business.
Hello, I'm Brad Mooney from Awareness Strategies, and I'm here today to talk to you about sales and marketing automation. It's a new division to Awareness Strategies, and I'm getting a lot of questions of what is it and what does it do for you. So in the next 20 minutes or so, hopefully I'm going to ask a bunch of questions that you would ask and answer them so that you know what we do and how we can help you. So let's start off with what is sales and marketing automation. First, S&M automation, the short form, is hopefully from a marketing perspective something that you'll remember and relate back to us. If you know anything about S&M, you'll remember us. The major part of the sales and marketing automation is a third-party software called Infusionsoft, and we'll get into that a lot in more detail. The other 25% other than Infusionsoft is you still need a website. And in a website you also need landing pages. Now landing pages aren't that different than most of your website. They're just specific pages that only have one task, to either sell a product or to opt into a form, and that's all it does. Typically it's not part of your menu system. You can't get there any other way. The only way you get to that landing page is by driving it to you through an email or social media or something like that. And then there's other tools that add on top as well. So let's talk about who I am and why I'm here. So I'm Brad Mooney, and I'm an electrical engineer. I worked in the oil and gas business for about 7 years, and in the 1980s I got into selling personal computers. I actually had a store that actually sold them. This was shortly after the IBM PC came out, and it was a great computer that everybody could use, so I started a store to sell them. About 7 years later, the hardware side, there wasn't as much money in it, so we moved on to doing mostly consulting, so helping other people program those PCs and doing things with them. Since then, I've been in IT for probably 30 years, with the last 10 of that being IT project management, helping big companies implement IT solutions through infrastructure and other programming. So the end result is yes, I'm an IT project management technical guy. One of the other things we've done in the process, though, is in 2003, Michelle Nedlick and I started a company called Awareness Strategies, which is not IT. It is a business and personal development training company, or at least that's where we started with. So we took a lot of courses and we learned all about the mind and how learning about the mind can actually make you a better person, help you in your business, make you make more money. Back then I was actually quite perturbed that through all my training I didn't actually come across this until that point in my life. So we were doing training, and we added a second part to that of coaching to augment the training and add more personal help to people. So Michelle actually was doing executive and management coaching. Through all this process of the mind, Michelle also developed another process called success therapy that actually gets into those limiting beliefs that you have and basically makes them go away. So if you don't like picking up that phone and making those cold calls, she can actually help you throw out the fears of that and actually like it. So 2 years ago we had all that, and we wanted to take our business bigger than Calgary. We were doing online courses in Calgary, but we wanted to get bigger and go online. So we wanted to take our courses, 2 of them specifically, Double My Results and Back to Basics, and put them online so people could start there, learn about us and our systems, and go from there. So those 2 courses, we did all the videotaping, wrote the manuals in PDFs and all that, and had them ready to actually go online. Of course, the first thing you need after that is, well, how do you market it? How do you actually make the sales to people that are, 5,000 miles away? So we went and started learning about online marketing. We actually hired a coach and joined a mastermind group that with another 20 or 30 people that their job also was to go online, because the internet is the place to up your sales by having billions of customers rather than thousands. So our coach basically had done the process before. He was online, so he was the expert, and he'd come up with a recommended product lists that he had used to do all his products. Of course, there was shopping carts and autoresponders and mail systems, all these things put together to actually get online and do this. So we, being good students, bought these 6 different packages and started to build them together to make them work. They were all individual companies. They had integration between them to some source, but it wasn't good. And being an IT guy, I got very frustrated in the lack of ability and how much work it took to make these things work together. I found a product called Infusionsoft, and I went and bought Infusionsoft. So after that first couple months, we threw the rest away because Infusionsoft did most of what it was and more. Now, we started using that and integrated it, and it's been a great solution. And actually 2 years later, our coach is now using Infusionsoft because he also saw the benefits of the integration. So basically, we use Infusionsoft so much that I figured other small businesses also need Infusionsoft. They need it because it helps them actually get customers, grow leads, and move people to be raving fans. It's a great piece of software. It's almost like the guy that does a commercial with the razor. I liked it so much that I became certified to teach and to sell Infusionsoft. Now really what that meant was taking a bunch of more courses and passing a 6-hour exam. It's been a long time since I've taken a 6-hour exam, but I wrote the exam, finished it actually with 15 minutes to spare, so it wasn't a trivial exam, and now we are certified to sell and support Infusionsoft. You might say this is a slight difference in the change of direction for awareness strategy. Our tagline used to be training for your mind, changing results. And when we redid this and added Infusionsoft in, we basically changed it to growing small business. Because we have the training, we have the coaching, we have success therapy, which all is helping people grow their businesses. And the first thing most small businesses need is customers. They need revenue. So adding in the Infusionsoft, adding in the sales and marketing automation, to me makes sense for small business. So we are here to help small businesses grow. So what is Infusionsoft? Infusionsoft is a cloud-based solution out of a company in Phoenix. Being cloud-based, basically you need a browser on your PC and you access it from wherever, and it is out in the cloud. They look after the servers, they look after backups, and you just use it. Infusionsoft has about 700 employees, so they're not a small company, but they're not huge. And it takes a whole bunch of different applications and bundles them together with integration specifically for small business. Now our target market, and mostly theirs, is for employees of small businesses between 2 and 50, they are a good match for Infusionsoft solution. Now we say 2 to 50 because if you're a single entrepreneur, it may be too big of a product for you. Being a cloud-based solution, it is basically paid for with a monthly fee. And typically for most companies that's $300 or so. So if $300 a month is too much versus the revenue you create from it, then it's probably too big of a piece of software for it and you can start with other things. But if you can take that $300 a month, which is $3,000 a year, and to me you need about a 10 times return to make that worthwhile. So if automating your sales and marketing can bring in $30,000 a year, well then Infusionsoft is a great solution for you. So what does it include? Well, it is a CRM, a customer relationship management software. It has a database of all your customers with a whole bunch of custom fields, as well as keeping all the information on your customers. On top of that, it adds tags to your clients. Now tags are important because tags are a way of segmenting your list. So it may be by where they came from, it may be what type of customer it is, but the more you can segment your list, the more you can target specific education and marketing to them. These tags can also record history of when they bought things and also record status of where they're at in certain pipeline channels and other things. So tags are very important in the process. But because it's a database, you can also search on anything that's in it. So if you have a customer that's in there for some reason, typically you can sort and find them and put them on a list to do other marketing to them. Infusionsoft also has a shopping cart, which basically means that you can buy things on the internet from them. The shopping cart basically says that I have a piece of product and I can put it in my shopping cart and then from there buy it through a merchant account. The billing process also has subscriptions and repeat billings. So not only can you sell a product, you can sell a membership in something that every month you can charge them so much. For some businesses, this is a tremendous ability to automate their receivables, because every month you just put them through and they charge your credit card and you don't have to worry about it unless that credit card gets rejected, and then you look after it on an exception only basis. Of course, that shopping cart leads to a credit card merchant account behind that that ties in automatically to do that processing from one end to the other. The shopping cart and credit card merchant are also integrated such that if a card expires, you can send an email to your client saying, something's wrong with your card, could you please give us a new one? So there's a lot of automation that can actually happen in the credit card and shopping cart process. One other thing that Infusionsoft does is email, and this is actually one of its strengths. They actually say that they have the highest percentage of email that actually gets to the customer. Now, being in Canada, one thing you have to worry about for email is CASL compliance. And CASL is basically the government of Canada is doing a lot of anti-spam legislation. So there's things that they're coming in right now and they're going to be fully integrated by 2017. But double opt-in is one of the things that they say you must have, which basically means when you send them to that landing page, they opt in to buy your product. Well, that's one opt-in. Then you have to send them an email saying, is this your email? Please opt in a second time. Your emails also have to have an opt-out link. So when you send a bulk email to somebody, you need an email link at the bottom that they can click on and opt out. The emails also need your contact information to prove that you're a real business and this is a real email. So all those things are addressed in Infusionsoft, and it does them all automatically for you. It also gives you a lot of email statistics, including how many are opened, how many clicked on a link inside, how many bounced. So there's a whole raft of information that gives you on statistics for those emails. And with the tagging that I mentioned earlier, you can break your list up into different lists and target different people on your list. Now, the whole part of Infusionsoft is to nurture your people and to educate them. So if somebody buys a certain product, you might want to send them different information than somebody else that hasn't bought a product yet. And all that is taken care of in Infusionsoft. Another thing Infusionsoft has is a thing called campaigns. Now, campaigns in Infusionsoft is where all the smarts and the programming actually happens. You can see on the screen that this is an example of a campaign. There's a start process, typically a goal, and then there's this block of green thing here that is actually the processing of a campaign. And you can make decisions and do multiple things inside the campaign. A simple thing to do would be like this example where you see at the top it applies a tag. So those tags we were talking about earlier, well, you can apply them automatically in this campaign depending on what people do. The bottom row here is a simple timer, so it basically waits a day and then sends an email. Waits another day and sends another email. Or these could be months, depending on what you want to do. But it's basically a way of automating that process of which emails you send when and what actions you take. So campaigns, you can make decisions. And the logic of this is tremendously powerful. In the example you see in front of you, there's actually links on this email that gets sent out, and if a person actually clicks on that link, Infusionsoft will know about it and then take whatever action you want to on top of that link. So you can send them more information specifically on it, or you can ask them questions about their demographics or whatever, and you get to process that information. So in summary, campaigns are the big reason that I love Infusionsoft. They can do almost anything. But there's a downside to campaigns. You actually need to program them. So to me, when you first get Infusionsoft, it's like a blank spreadsheet. It's there, there's nothing at all on the screen, and it can be intimidating, much like a blank spreadsheet. Until you start adding in the equations, adding in the data, formatting it, and moving it around, and then once you do that, the spreadsheet can give you all sorts of great results. Well, Infusionsoft's the same way. Once you take that campaign and start adding in the logic, adding in the emails and the delay timers, etc., it can do almost anything. Another important part of Infusionsoft is what they call the dashboard. And this is where you monitor key metrics. So most small businesses don't monitor things on an ongoing basis, but using those tags and other ways, you can actually build your campaigns out and find out where people are and what your conversions are in each part of the process. And as you gather that information, you get smarter decisions and can do better things down the road. So this is an example I did for one of my clients. Basically, he had a process where there's a 7-day process, how many people are in that, and hopefully in that 7-day process, he would actually buy a 14-day trial. Once they buy that 14-day trial, they could either wait the 14 days and become a customer, or they could cancel the 14 days and not become a customer. So this gives you all those statistics at a glance, and you know exactly where you are in the process. Another thing Infusionsoft does is affiliate marketing. Now most people probably don't know what this is, but this was very important for us because affiliate marketing is when you can actually have a joint venture partner or other people send out emails on your behalf, and you give them a code, and that code they put in their email, and when it's clicked on and sends the customer to the right landing page, that can be tracked back to them and their list. So basically, you can pay them a commission based on them selling your product. So Infusionsoft does this by putting cookies on your machine, etc., but it's a very official way of tracking that back. When I mean official, it works. It works for you and it works for them, and everybody trusts that it actually does that. So you can grow faster by having joint venture partners. As soon as you can get, double, triple your list, sends out to hundreds of thousands of people, that is what will help you grow online. But you can also use this to track referrals. So if you have good customers, you can actually give them a tracking code, and they can put it on their page or give it to their people that refer to you, and you can know it comes from them, and again, pay them a referral fee. Infusionsoft, though, is not only for online. It is actually meant to integrate with salespeople and sales departments. It has other things you can put in the campaign called tasks that will actually send it to a salesperson and say, okay, please call this person. We've sent him 3 emails, he hasn't responded, we need to know why. So it actually has that integration in it to actually deal with people and to manage sales departments. You can actually build in sales pipelines and have a whole complicated process in there that it will look after and, again, automate. It can even do quotes. If part of your process is for a salesperson to put together a quote, it can put that custom package together, automatically email the customer. The customer can actually automatically click on it to accept it, and it all goes through the system. If you're talking a lot with clients and you want to keep it in front of them, you can send them out birthday cards. So if you know the customer's date of birth, which certain industries know that automatically because they're required, 2 weeks before that, the Infusionsoft campaign can say, I want to start a process, and actually it can send out a task for somebody to do something, or if you know about send out cards, they're a company that sends out cards automatically, and Infusionsoft can send them the information, and they will automatically send them a birthday card. So without you knowing anything, you could send out birthday cards to all your clients just in time for their birthday. So other than Infusionsoft, what else do you need? Well, I mentioned before you need a website, landing page, but you also need to come up with the marketing information. Now, the typical way this online marketing works is you need to come up with educational material that you send your client to educate them on why to do business with you. Typically, you would start with a giveaway, something, some would say an ethical bribe, that good information that they would want and is valuable to them that they will trade for their email address. So typically you'd ask them for first name and email address and get them into the system and give them that valuable giveaway. You can also generate leads in multiple other ways. You can get free leads. You can put things on Facebook driving people to your landing page. Or you can also have paid leads. AdWords, I guess, is a good example of a paid lead, where if they put in a certain search and are looking for roofing contractors, you can pay them to show on that page your landing page. But you need to get the leads into the system somehow. So what is your funnel? How does it look like? Can you automate that and put it into Infusionsoft? One great thing is that we currently have a government grant that will pay for 2/3 of the implementation and training for your people on Infusionsoft. So basically you have to pay for 1/3 yourself, 2/3 by them, but you can very quickly make additional revenue with the product and the training. There's a whole bunch of other software that you can add on top of Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft actually was developed in a very open format, so any software can add into it. It actually comes with a free piece of software called Snap, which with your cell phone you can take pictures of business cards and it will digitize those, and then you get to put them directly into Infusionsoft. But there's time and billing, there's inventory fulfillment, it actually has connections to accounting systems. Since half your accounting is done, the revenue side, you can pass it over to an accounting system and automatically get that processed. You can even tie into SMS messaging. So for cell phones, you can get people to message a cell phone and it will go into Infusionsoft. Typically you'll ask back and say enter your email address and you text that back and then it starts the whole process. So there's hundreds of other applications that are built on top of Infusionsoft by third parties. So hopefully I've answered all your, or most of your questions of what sales and marketing automation is, what Infusionsoft is, what it can do for you, how we can help by making the sale as well as maintenance and support of the application. To me, if you're a small business with 2 to 50 employees, you need an automated sales and marketing process. I'm Brad Mooney from Awareness Strategies. Thanks for listening.
Awareness Strategies. Growing small business.